Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Urbek City Builder. I hope you're having a good one because I am excited to be back. We are, of course, in Nerdback, where things are going quite well. We built this right here last time. We went ahead and upgraded our original sort of downtown area. And today, I want to go ahead and finally deal with the food situation and the general resources situation that we find ourselves in. And to do that, apparently, I need to get myself a food research center. I've been reading some of the comments, and a few people have pointed out that the food research center is going to be fantastic for food production. And if we go ahead and take a look at it right in here, it does, in fact, produce 9,000 units of food. Now, it does happen to consume 2,000 high-skilled work. It will be consuming 40 science and 80 energy. Now, the biggest problem with that is the 40 science. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to build myself another university, and I'm going to come over and build it in this space right about here, which is going to produce 30 science, which we absolutely need. So we'll go ahead and place a university right there, and we're suddenly at plus 30 science. Now, what we can also go ahead and do is place ourselves another university restaurant, a faculty of education, a faculty of engineering. There's a lot of stuff we can place for more science. But before we get there, I do want to look at expanding this way a little bit further, because we do also need to get more goods. We need more steel. We're going to need more power. We're going to probably at some point need more wood as well. And we're probably going to want more science on top of what we've got. So we need to expand the university. Long story short, we just need more of everything, because I really want to get this food research center today. Now, the faculty of botany is what we need for that. And the faculty of botany needs 5 fruit processors. We have 1 at the moment, and fruit processors happen to need 50 or more orchards in a radius of 6 and no fruit processor in a radius of 6. So essentially, we need to go and look at orchards, which are going to need 1 or more farmhouse in a radius of 6, which, well, it just so happens that we actually have some farmhouses all along here. But the thing with orchards, I'm pretty sure, is they need 0 or less pollution in a radius of 6, which is a problem because the farm sheds give out pollution. So what that means is we're going to have to rely on these areas down here towards the airports for the orchards, which is fine. That's kind of what I expected we'd have to do. So we're going to bring this road down here, and what I'm going to do is get myself some farmhouses, and I'm basically going to place them. I'm thinking, I guess we could do here, but I'm going to go like this, right? So I'm going to put a farmhouse here, and I'm going to extend these fields all the way along. And the problem with farmhouses is don't they need fields? They need, let's see, 12 or more farms in a radius of 3. So yeah, farmhouses need fields, orchards need farmhouses. It's a whole thing. But what we can do is essentially place a farmhouse right there, place a farmhouse right there, and place a farmhouse right there. And that gives us 4 farmhouses, which is fantastic. And then if I go in with orchards, I can place a few across here. I can place, I assume, a few across here, and I can't place them there. And if I wanted to place the rest of them, I'm wondering if I can get away with, let's see, this is going to consume skilled work. This is also going to cost a few things here and there. Let's do this to start with, and that has just consumed quite a bit of my skilled work, but it's okay. It's not the end of the world. We can go ahead and do this as well. And my hope is that these guys, yeah, they do still have enough farms within radius, so they're fine. So that gives us a bunch of orchards, which is giving us a bunch of food production as well, which is absolutely fantastic. But what we need to do now is get some fruit processors. And the problem with the fruit processors is obviously that they're going to take away fields if I place them in the wrong spot. So I'm thinking a fruit processor right here is going to be good for us, and we're not losing anything at the minute by the looks of it. And I'm thinking a fruit processor right here is going to be good. Now, that's a lot of power consumption, but we are producing 7,000 food. What are you complaining about? 12 or more farms in radius, you don't have enough. Okay, can I do this? Is that going to give you problems? It doesn't look like it. You need one more farm in radius. So if I go and do this, you are now good. You are still good. We just need to fix the power problem. And to fix the power problem, I mean, let's be honest, we're just going to go and throw another wind turbine at the problem. And there we go. No more problem. Now, I do wonder if I could maybe get myself another one of the fruit processors up this way. So if I was to go and put a farmhouse right here, okay, that's an interesting spot for it. But if I do that and I do some orchards across here, I don't think that's going to be anywhere near enough. I really, really doubt that's going to be enough. There's also not enough farms in radius for this to work. So yeah, I'm pretty confident that's not going to be enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, that's not going to be enough at all. Okay. We'll just go ahead and put some fields back in here. It's going to be a non-issue. The farmhouse, at the very least, will give us a little bit more production than a field, and it gives us some extra storage as well. So we'll just sort of live with this and deal with it. Now, it turns out I can also fill up this little space here with a whole bunch of orchards, and I'm hoping that I can get myself another fruit processor, which it looks like I absolutely can. And I almost wonder if I was to put this fruit processor, say, here, can I get another one down here? I absolutely can't. I don't have enough. I don't have enough orchards. That's a little bit heartbreaking. That's a little hard. I could get one right there if we had one more orchard. So let me do this. And then you don't have enough fields. So if I was to go and say that's a field, I'm pretty sure I could then put another fruit processor right about here. And that means we have the faculty of botany unlocked. And we have plus 13k when it comes to food production. So food is a non-issue now. And what's also a non-issue is obviously the faculty of botany. So if we go in here, the faculty of botany is right here. It's going to produce 10 science and 500 food. It is going to consume quite a bit of power, but honestly, that's okay. Let's go ahead and place ourselves. What does this actually provide? It will produce this, store that, needs that. Okay, so it doesn't actually provide anything, I don't think. So we'll just place it, I guess, right about here. And that should be okay. We do, of course, have a power problem. So we'll go back into here and grab ourselves another couple of wind turbines. We'll grab one more and maybe there and there as well, just to make sure that power is kind of a non-issue. But we have also unlocked the Food Research Center. So now if we go in here, this thing is going to need more science than we have. We have the power for it and we have the skilled workers for it. We just need the science. So we'll go back into education and we'll go ahead and look at things like the faculty of engineering, which is going to be, 10 science. This thing is going to need a university, no faculty of engineering nearby, no advanced faculty of engineering nearby. It doesn't seem to produce anything super negative. So we'll go ahead and place this thing, I guess, right about there. And, I probably should have placed these slightly differently, but this is okay. That gives us plus 38 on science. University, restaurant, meh, not too interested in. This faculty of education provides plus 10 education to an area. That is something I'm very interested in, because if I go ahead and place it, let's see here, that's going to give us quite a chunk of education to a massive amount of the population. So let's build it right there. That's going to give plus 10 education to all of these houses. We're now at plus 48 in terms of science, which means I think we have everything we need for the Food Research Center. We absolutely do. It needs 15 or more offices in a radius of 4 and no Food Research Center in a radius of 8. So this thing is essentially going to have to go right in the middle of my city. But honestly, I'm kind of okay with that. I like the idea of this being right on a main road, so right there. And there we go. We're now at plus 22,000 in terms of food, which is kind of ridiculous. That is kind of ridiculous. We started small and now we're here. Now, the next thing we need to do, by the looks of it, is get a green 5-story building. It's not all about making buildings bigger or increasing production. You can make your city more beautiful by greening your buildings. Is that a word? One of the improvements of 5-story building is the green 5-story building. Okay, so are we looking just green 5-story building, or are we looking at like green mixed use 5-story building? That's the question that so 5-story residential, green 5-story building right here. It needs 0 or less banking, and it needs more green areas. Interesting. Okay, so I think I just need to upgrade one of the normal ones, right? Oh, this guy's ready to, wait, no. Ooh, that's not gonna work. 3 or more healthcare, currently 1, 50 or more green areas. Right. So you need more green areas nearby. How can I get you some more green areas nearby? What would the floral park do? +6 green areas? That's not bad. We could throw a floral park right there. And apparently, is that a green? Yeah, green 5-story mixed-use residential. Okay, so that has actually counted. That's fair enough, I suppose. There are still a few constructions left. The Advanced Research Centers, which you will find in the landmark construction menu. These are very tall buildings that use science to improve the production of a resource. To follow the tutorial, just build one. The Advanced Energy Research Center. And it looks like to get the Advanced Energy Research Center, we just need a higher population. And this thing will give us 13,000 power. It's going to consume 1,000 unskilled workers or skilled workers and 2,000 highly skilled workers. So we need more of both of those. And we're going to need more science as well. But that's pretty good. I'm actually quite happy with that. And I think the best way to do all of this, to be quite honest, is going to be to get ourselves a bunch of new houses. So I'm going to fill up this space. I realize with plus 21k in terms of food, I want to see what happens if I take out this entire field. I might regret this, but I'm going to bulldoze all of this. We're at plus 18k. That's not bad. What if I take out all of you? Still plus 18. What if I take out all of you? Plus 9,000. That's actually not that bad. Let's be honest, that is not that bad. Now, admittedly, you know, we do probably want it to be a bit higher than that, but it's not bad. And it's not bad at all. Now, what I am going to do here is I'm going to bring myself a road across here. I'm going to bring myself a road sort of through this neighborhood, similar to what I've done elsewhere, because we have, you know, a decent chunk of space here. We can do some housing sort of here and some housing here. This might not be an ideal way to lay something out, but we'll just do this anyway, since we have the faculty building in the middle. That should upgrade relatively easily. We'll go ahead and sort of do this over here as well. And that should be a pretty good bump to the population. That should get us, once this starts upgrading, pretty close to 50,000. What are you complaining about? Or who is complaining? The roads are complaining because they're industrial roads. That makes sense. Well, those will get upgraded to other things in time. Now, when it comes to this neighborhood right here, we are seeing some parking lots pop up, which I don't absolutely love. So let's go ahead and just make sure those get replaced with some actual buildings. I do have some bus stops in here, though, so we should be okay. I'm wondering if the mall is maybe giving us some issues. I do think there's a metro station outside of it, though, so we should be all right. Looking at the buildings, though, to get 2-story downtown houses, we need 1 or more healthcare in radius. So if we go in here with a hospital, I feel like that would probably help us out a little bit. So let's just throw a hospital right there. We should see plenty of upgrades across the entire neighborhood. We're seeing them go to 5-story buildings. We're actually going to see some of them go to 12-story buildings immediately. And now we're having power problems. And we're actually going to run into food problems relatively soon, if I'm not careful. The good news is we're up to 51,000 people. So let's take a look at the Advanced Energy Research Center. Do we produce enough to get this? We do not. We need to get ourselves more high-skilled work. And to get the high-skilled work, well, let's see what we're doing here. So high-skilled work, if I remember right, that comes from, yeah, so that's going to come out of like 12-story buildings and things like that. It's going to come out of mixed use, commercial, residential. It's going to come out of, you know, this kind of mixed use stuff. What's the smallest building I can get it out of? Modern 2-story houses? Interesting. Very, very interesting. I can get it out of downtown houses as well. Okay. I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and sort out this power problem. We'll throw a turbine right here, and we should see some more upgrades coming about. We have just run into another power problem. So maybe it's time to go nuclear. This thing's going to consume so much science, but it's going to produce 6,500 power. Although, to be fair, we're also building up to something that is going to produce 1,300 power and actually consumes less science. It's tempting. It's very tempting. It needs one or more advanced faculty of engineering in the city. Oh my God, hold on a minute. So faculty of engineering, what do we need to upgrade you? 100 or more solar plants in city. Oh my God. Okay, what do I need for solar plants? So they are going to be consuming 1 science each and 1 high-skilled worker. They produce 25 power each, and it needs 1 or more solar transformer in a radius, in a 5 radius. Okay, so we need a solar transformer to begin with, which I guess needs to be relatively close to roads. So it would have to be there. Oh man, this is going to be a whole thing, isn't it? Right. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to bring a road out to this spot, and I'm going to put myself a solar transformer at the end of that road. And then around this thing, I want to do solar plants. This doesn't produce any pollution, which makes sense. It's a solar plant. Oh boy, this is going to be a lot. Let's do this to start with. And let's do this. We don't have enough science to build this, but that's okay. Let me just check how we're doing in terms of solar plants. Hold on a minute. What does this need? Wait, no, it's the upgrade to the engineering thing that I need to look at. So we need, oh my God, we're going to need a lot more than that. But at least we're dealing with the power problem. So let's just keep upgrading this and getting more science in here. So I've built myself another nuclear power plant so I can unlock the faculty of science, which is going to be needed because we are consuming a lot more science than we're producing. So the faculty of science is going to live, I'm going to say, right about here. We're now at minus 27 in terms of science production. And I think the way we're probably going to try and deal with this is by going and throwing essentially another faculty of science right about there. And next to it, I kind of want to throw a faculty of botany because that is going to produce a bit more food, which we need to do. And then I suppose we can probably throw some other things here as well. So a faculty of mathematics we already have in the area, a faculty of arts and letters. We can go ahead and place that, I guess, here, which is going to provide a lot of culture to that area. A faculty of science already exists. A university restaurant doesn't exist, apparently, so we'll build that. A faculty of philosophy needs another library and 1 more self-managed bookstore. We should probably do that, actually. So let's go ahead and have a really quick look at culture. And a self-managed bookstore, I mean, I don't really know where I'm going to build one of these, to be quite honest with you, but I mean, I guess right there is probably fair enough. And 1 more library. We'll go ahead and build a library down this way, since we don't already have one in the neighborhood. And that should have given us the faculty of philosophy, right? It absolutely did. And also the museum. Interesting. Okay. So faculty of, ooh, hold on. We don't have enough skilled work. Ooh. Also, this guy just upgraded to an advanced university restaurant and an advanced faculty of arts and letters. Oh. Oh, did they upgrade? Uh-oh. They might have upgraded and they might have just sort of screwed me a little bit. Because we don't have the means to sustain those. That might be bad. Because we now need more skilled work in here. Although I guess the way we deal with that potentially is by throwing a new neighborhood right here and hoping for the best. Now, before we deal with all of those issues, we have unlocked the advanced faculty of engineering, which is this guy right here, which is ready to upgrade, but I don't produce enough skilled work. So we need to fix this food problem, which is where the rest of, all of this space down here kind of comes into play. And what we'll do for that is just throw some fields amongst all of the turbines there. I'm going to throw some fields amongst these turbines as well and bring those back just a bit. So like there, we'll sort of go down here as well. And we'll see how that plays out. We should be able to do some good stuff here. I don't love that these fields are getting kind of close to everything, but at the very least, this issue with skilled workers should start going away once we start upgrading some wooden huts into, wealthy village houses and all of that good stuff. So should be a relative non-issue. We'll go ahead and extend this area just a little bit though. We'll go something like this, and I'm going to move this road along one just so it's, 6 across, which is what we're looking for. And we should get enough population density down here to start getting some skilled work, which should mean this guy does upgrade into the advanced faculty of engineering, which I believe means that we can now build the advanced energy research center. We just need way more skilled work and way more food. So it turns out to sort out this issue with skilled work, I've had to go in and get rid of a bunch of main squares, and I've had to do the same around my university over here as well. And to be honest, I'm going to go ahead and do the same around this part of this university as well, because we really can't afford to be running out of skilled work. And I guess to fix this issue, essentially, I'm going to have to go in and get a lot of these guys to upgrade from, village houses to wealthy suburb houses, but they need food services, they need leisure, and they need education. So there's a bit of work to be done there, and I don't love that I've had to go in and get rid of some of the main features of these areas, but at the very least, we are working in the right sort of direction. Kind of. We're going kind of in the right direction. I've also realized that I put this road here deliberately because I wanted, 2 tiles on either side of these university buildings. And suddenly, I don't love this layout. I should have just put the buildings down this side and that side and put some parks in the middle. Would have looked a lot better. But I guess this is what we're dealing with for now. We also have some parking lots in here, which is slightly frustrating. I guess we need more connectivity in some of these neighborhoods. So let's go ahead and get ourselves a bus stop, which is going to consume some skilled work. But we'll go ahead and put it right there. And that should, at the very least, get us to upgrade to a downtown house. I guess what I could do is just bulldoze over the top of those, and that might help us out a little bit. As for these guys down here, to be wealthy suburb houses, they need some more leisure in the area. So if we go and have a bit of a look at parks, a floral park is going to consume 20 skilled work, but we might get some skilled work out of this. So let's just go ahead and place ourselves, well, maybe not a floral park. What about a nice park? That is going to give us some leisure if I put it right there. And that might help some of these guys to upgrade. Yeah, this guy, for example, is ready to upgrade to a wealthy village house, which is great news. And to go from there to a wealthy suburb house, you just need education. What about you guys? What do you need? Education, leisure, more residents? Oh boy. They happen to need a lot of things. Education and leisure? Oh boy. Okay. What about a high school? It's gonna consume a bit, but it does give 5 education to an area. So maybe a high school sort of... I like the idea of it right there, but... Well... Actually, yeah, I think right here for the high school. And that should help out some of these guys, and it is helping out some of those guys. It is getting them some upgrades. You're ready to go to wealthy suburb house. And from there, you can go to downtown house if we get more leisure in the area. So, let's do it. Let's get a little bit more leisure down here with a floral park. And if we get ourselves that floral park, we should see some upgrades to downtown houses. And to be 2-story, you just need more residents in the area. So that's fine. We've got those upgrades going. We're starting to see some more skilled work come in. What are you complaining about? What is your issue? You are ready to upgrade, but don't produce enough food. Interesting. I think food might just be the issue here. This guy has 1 connectivity, 3 or less connectivity in the area. Interesting. I guess that mole really is eating the connectivity around here, huh? So let me go ahead and just put another bus stop kind of right there, and that should deal with the issue. Yeah, it absolutely did. Okay, so now we just need to deal with the food problem. And for the most part, the way I've been dealing with that is just throwing a bunch of farms up in this corner, which, by the way, I did go ahead and change just some of this space a little bit. I decided to just, put some extra roads in here. And I forgot to mention that I did also change this space as well. I've been over this area a couple of times, I think, in this episode, and we didn't really look at it, but I just changed the layout, added some extra iron miners' houses, and upgraded them to 3 stories so we produce a bit more iron, which is good. That's kind of what we're looking for. We just really need to do something about this food situation. So let's take a look and see what we can do. I think a food plant might be a good idea. Or at the very least, some more farm sheds, which are going to need farms in radius. So we could go right here. It's going to consume some workers, but it is going to produce some decent food. We could go, I guess, right here as well, and that's going to produce some food for us. And we could go right about here, and that should produce some food for us as well. So the food situation should resolve itself. I do think what we need to do is we need to start merging these areas and start getting the density to cross over. So I almost wonder if I should demolish all of these buildings and move them so we can use this space for density. And I'm thinking that's what I'm going to do. So the Faculty of Botany, for example, if we bulldoze that, and then I go in here, and we get the Faculty of Botany, and I would build it here, right? So the Faculty of Botany goes there. The Advanced Faculty of Engineering, I might regret this, but we're going to bulldoze it, and we're going to go in, we're going to look at the Faculty of Engineering, and we're going to build it right about here. Now we'll let the game run because that needs to upgrade, of course, and this guy, I don't know if that guy's going to upgrade it. Doesn't look like it. That's fine. Next up is the Faculty of Mathematics. So we'll bulldoze that, and we'll go and get ourselves, wherever it is, the Faculty of Mathematics. Next is the Faculty of Science. Wait, what are you complaining about? Oh dear. I need to upgrade. I don't know what your complaint is. I've got to be honest with you. I've got no idea. I'm not really worried about it. You know what? We'll just bulldoze you. There you go. No more complaint. No more complaining from anyone right there. That's fine. Okay. So Faculty of Science will bulldoze you. And then the Faculty of Science is going to go here. And then the same thing with the Arts and Letters and the University Restaurant. And I realize I could throw a Faculty of Philosophy in here as well, which is going to give us some culture, which I don't hate the idea of doing. It is a decent chunk of consumption there, but that's okay. And a Faculty of Education might not be a bad idea either. So we'll get all of those things in there, which gives us this giant space for a university. I don't know if there's more stuff we're going to add there, so I'm just going to put a road right about there. And that seems fine. That gives us this university. We do, I realize, I think, have 2 faculties of education on this thing. We have one over here and we have one over here. So education in this area should be fantastic. So much so that it looks like these guys are upgrading into parking lots. So let's go ahead and get ourselves some bus stops to try and deal with that a little bit. We'll put one right about there. We'll put one, I guess, right about here. And we'll put one right about there. And we should see some of these parking lots turn into, actual buildings. And while we're at it, we'll also just, get this space to grow a little bit, and that should help us out. And I suppose we should look at filling up some of these spaces as well. Now, what I do want to do is I want to connect these guys together. I'm not going to connect those guys together. And I think what we'll do is this, and I'm going to do this just so, for some symmetry there. And then we have all of this space. We could put a road right down through the middle here. That'll give us 3 buildings on either side. We could do a road right down through the middle there. And that's going to give us some pretty decent density. It might throw some issues as well, though, because these guys Honestly, we probably need to just rebuild this entire space, looking at it, because we've got some weirdly proportioned buildings. Like these guys here want to upgrade to 5-story residential buildings, but they just don't have the space. So yeah, we might want to redo this and not do these sections of 3. We probably want to do sections of 4. So actually, bulldoze this. We'll bulldoze all of you as well. And this might get a little bit messy, but we'll see what we can do. We'll do it here. We're not going to do it on that side of the university. What we'll do is another strip of 2 right here. And that's going to be 5 across. That's going to be 6. Okay, so this, essentially. So all of this, we'll throw ourselves a nice road down here. We'll throw ourselves, I guess, a road right there. And as all of that builds, the food consumption is going to be ridiculous, but population-wise, it's going to be very good for us. And also, you have to remember, we have actually just connected the original part of my city to the newer part of my city, which is kind of a big deal. So it turns out adding a very quick supermarket to the middle of this space has helped us out a little bit and started to get us some downtown houses, which is in turn giving us a really nice amount of skilled work at long last. And my goal here is essentially to get to a point where I can build another food research center. Now to do that, we need 40 science. It consumes that. It consumes 80 energy. We have both of those. We just need high skilled work, of which we're plus 1,000 right now. So it's going to take a little while to get there, especially since we keep running into issues with the food. And at the moment, I have managed to throw a food plant out here, which is great. But the pickle that we're running into is that we just keep running into issues. So I can throw another food plant in that corner, and that is going to help us out a bit. And we're hopefully going to see some of these guys continue to upgrade. But to get to wealthy suburb houses, they need education and they need leisure in these areas. So if I go and throw a floral park right in there, we should see some upgrades. And in terms of education, a university would actually not help. It only adds green areas. A high school is plus 5 education to an area, so we will do this. And that should give us some considerable upgrades. And we should start seeing a little bit more skilled work come out of that. We should start seeing, and we are seeing, high skilled work increase as well. We're also seeing some parking lots appear, which we don't want. So let's just start getting some subway stations in here to improve connectivity and get rid of this whole issue with the parking lots. So we'll go ahead and throw one down here. We'll go ahead and throw one, I guess, in here. We'll get one over here as well, just to make sure that this parking lot problem happens to, go away, because we don't want the parking lots. And we're also seeing some more nightlife neighborhoods appear, which actually looks really good. I love these buildings. I think they look absolutely fantastic. Now, you're ready to go to a downtown house. You already are one. To be 2-story, we just need some healthcare in the neighborhood. So, essentially, we're looking at a clinic or a hospital. And a hospital is going to consume a few things, but I feel like it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to put a hospital like right here. So let's go ahead and put a hospital right there, and we'll see a fair chunk of this start to upgrade. They're also getting ready to become 5-story residential buildings, but we just ran into another food problem. So of course, another hurdle in the way of getting to where I want to be. I wonder if fruit processors would be the way to go, or just more grain silos, honestly, would be a bit of an idea as well, I think. And if I was to go and put a farmhouse, I don't know, here and here, can I get a grain silo in the middle? I absolutely can. So that helps us out a little bit. But then we probably need, another farmhouse and another, I guess, grain silo. And that doesn't really do much for us either. It's only done a little bit. So really, we need some pretty major farmland. So let's start looking, I guess, at the rest of this space. And we'll go ahead and fill it with some farmland. It's a 9x9 space. We are absolutely going to need to bring a road through here because some of these guys won't actually turn into farms because they're too far away from roads. But what we can also do with this is potentially get some more orchards out here. So if I was to go ahead and get myself a farmhouse and line it up with that one and put it here, and then come along and get one, say, there, and come along and get one, say, there. That gives me 3 farmhouses, which is great. Orchards can go, I guess, back here. And I think those are okay. And those should produce a pretty good amount of food once they start building up a little bit. They do consume skilled work, which is a little frustrating, but at the very least, they do produce a decent chunk of food. So we have that going for us. I wonder, can I get away with this? It looks like I can. It seems like my farmhouses are happy as well. So then fruit processors, they also consume skilled work, but they also produce 1,800 food. So if I was to go and put a fruit processor, I mean, I can get one here. That's a pretty good spot for it, I think. And it looks like I can get another one. I mean, I can't get it there, but I can get it there. Which honestly, I think maybe even putting it down by the road would be the way to go. So that gives us now near 5,000 food production. Really, orchards do seem like the way to go, right? I've got to be honest. They really, really seem like the way to go here. So if I was to go and say I wanted some orchards, you know, back here, you no longer have enough fields. So then I just go and say, give me 3 fields here and you're fine. So what is this going to take us to in terms of food production once they all grow? Well over 5,000. Yeah, orchards are the way to go. Why have I not done... I guess I haven't done orchards because I've been busy doing all these other things. I'm an idiot. Why do people watch my channel? I don't understand. You know, I have to be honest. I can't say enough how happy it makes me that we have managed to connect all these areas together. The other good news is we're back above plus 2,000 skilled work. We're climbing on that highly skilled work as well, which means we are almost in a position where we can get this food research center. If we did want to get the advanced energy research center, we are actually quite close on that as well. But I feel like energy is something that we're not struggling with quite as much as food at the moment. And I feel like the food problem is largely because obviously I did get rid of a massive amount of our food production. There were, you know, what was it, like 20 something thousand or 19,000 in food production down to like 9,000. We cut over half of our food production out. And while that was a very deliberate decision, it has certainly had a bit of an impact on the overall growth of the city, shall we say. But at the very least, we do have some growth in here. We do have these towers. We do have these areas connected at long last. So that makes me really happy. And I think we can probably look at getting the Advanced Energy Research Center and this new Food Research Center thing next time, because I think the orchards are the way to go. I've got to be honest. I do think they're the way to go. I think we need to get ourselves, we need to get rid of a lot of things. We need to get rid of a lot of things and get ourselves some orchards in here, because they are, man, they are something. And I'm really annoyed. That I didn't bother investing in orchards sooner. I mean, it just makes sense, right? A field is 12.6 on production, an orchard is 32. It's more than double. So I'm a bit of a dummy. I mean, just look at this. I just put some orchards in here really, really quickly, and we're back up to plus 4,000 food production. So it's kind of wild. It is kind of wild what you can do with these things. And that's going to help us turn all of this area into more housing and more density and all that good stuff. So we'll go ahead and just throw a bunch of housing in there. And we could probably throw a bunch in here as well. And, you know, things will grow and develop and be great. What's also kind of important to note is that we are above 2,000 highly skilled workers and 2,000 skilled workers. So we are in a position, I believe, what is this? The top research center? Oh my God, that produces a lot of food. Good Lord. Consumes 6,000 highly skilled work though. Good Lord. Okay. Don't know about that. City Hall would be kind of cool as well. I think we have a City Hall, though. Let's see. So, the Advanced Energy Research Center. We could build it. We absolutely could. Needs offices in the area, which I think we have some down here. I'm not gonna build it right now, though, because like I said, we don't have energy problems. And honestly, I just want to see this area grow. That's kind of my priority right now. So, thank you very much for watching, everybody. We're gonna leave it there for today. It has been an absolute pleasure, as always. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.